Hello, and we are back. We're looking at logarithmic rules, and we're trying to justify them. So what I want you to do is take a look at this log base 2 of 8 plus log base 2 of 4. Go ahead and evaluate log base 2 of 8, and then evaluate log base 2 of 4, and then add them up. Pause the video and do that. Okay, I hope you try to do that. Remember that, of course, if we think about it, log base 2 of 8 is question mark, right? And that means 2 to the question mark equals 8, right? And so 8 is 2 cubed, so the question mark is 3, right? In the same way, log base 2 of 4 equals, I don't know. So that means 2 to the, I don't know, equals 4. But wait, 4 is 2 squared. So that means that, I don't know, equals 2. All right, so this is 3 plus 2 is 5. No big deal. But if we use the log rules, remember that log base A of B plus log base A of C equals log base A of B times C, right? Does that make sense? So let's take a look at that rule and apply it to the original. Let's say that we don't evaluate each one individually and just apply this rule right here to the original problem. Pause the video and see if you can do that. Okay, I hope that you gave that a shot. So that means this is the same as log base 2 of, since they have the same base, they're both base 2, log base 2 of 8 times 4. Okay, so that means that's the same thing as log base 2 of 32. And if we don't know what that is, we could say that equals, I don't know, x. So that means that 2 to the x is 32. And if you know your powers of 2 well, you know that 32 is 2 to the 5th. So that's another way to figure out that the whole thing is equal to 5, right? It's the same idea, okay? So we're going to do that again for the other two basic logarithmic rules, okay? So go ahead and try. So again, first see what this equals. Since there's no variables here, you don't have to use any log rules other than just the definition of what logarithms are. So evaluate log base 3 of 9 and evaluate log base 3 of 27 and then figure out what this whole thing is going to be equal to. Pause and do that, please. Okay, so hopefully you, you're going to say this is equal to P, right? So 3 to the P equals 9. 3 to the P is 3 squared. So P is 2. No big deal, right? And then the same thing for this. We're going to call this Q, right? So that's a Q, by the way. 3 to Q equals 27. 27 is 3 cubed. So Q is 3, right? So this is just 2 minus 3 is negative 1. No big deal, right? Do you remember the log rule for subtraction? Right? So if it's log base A of B minus log base A of C, that's the same thing as log base A of B over C. And again, this is just like exponent rules, right? Is the same thing as exponent rules. So if you know your exponent rules, you can figure those out easily. Then it's the same thing with the log rules. All right. When you have a division, what you do is you subtract them, right? So go ahead and use the same thing as before. Use this log rule to see if you can figure out what the whole thing is equal to and get to negative 1. Go ahead and pause the video and try that. So we are at log base 3 of 9 over 27, which is log base 3 of a third. So and let's say that that is equal to v. So 3 to the v is 1/3, right? 3 to the negative 1 is 1/3. So v equals negative 1.